Hi, this is Tim Richardson, CEO of Enliven. We're here in London at the 2019 PAX conference with Jim Tyrrell, the Chief Revenue Officer of Philadelphia. And we just finished a presentation here at the conference talking about pouring rights agreements for airports. It was very well received, I thought.
I thought so.
Thought you did a great job, Jim.
Thank you.
And I guess I want to just sort of say, there were a lot of good questions from the audience afterwards. Anything surprise you? Anything kind of?
No, not really. I mean, I think that I think airports are kind of late to the game on pouring rights, but I think that the word is getting out there, and I think it's being generally well received in the aviation industry.
Good. Yeah, that was my sense from the questions we got today and the response so far. We're not even through the first year of your agreement. You chose Pepsi. We're implementing, we're setting up the reporting mechanisms. How would you assess progress to date? And
So I think the easy part of this whole thing is non-airline revenue, and the revenue expectations are right in line or above average, or above our expectations. So from that perspective, I think it was definitely a positive and right choice for the airport. I mean, again, this is a new thing for us. It's kind of seems like a new thing for Pepsi, and we are working through some of the ways that we can partner and really make the most out of this opportunity. So again, we are very early in this agreement, but I think the enthusiasm that has been displayed by Pepsi and the reception that the airport has gotten as part of this arrangement, it's just everything's looking up, and we're really pleased with everything so far.
Excellent. Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. So, Jim, apart from the financial benefits of a pouring rights agreement, what other kind of benefits are you seeing with the pouring rights agreement?
So, kind of as I said in my presentation, I mean, we had three goals when we went into this into this process. All three were equally important. Financial was one, but enhancing the customer experience and strengthening the financial position of our tenants were other goals, and we've been able to achieve all three. I mean, the passenger experience just in the very few months that we've been in this agreement with Pepsi have been tremendous. We did a ticket giveaway to an iHeartRadio show that was really well received, and Twitter just exploded. And then next month we're going to have the world famous tight end from the Philadelphia Eagles coming to the airport to meet and greet our passengers as they come through, Zach Ertz, which I think is really going to be well received. But aside from that, Pepsi's also helping us with our sustainability effort, which again is critical to the airport, and it's something that Pepsi has the resources within their organization to really lend us, because I mean, we just don't. And that's one of the benefits from this partnership that we're seeing.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize the Coke, Pepsi, Nestle, these big beverage companies already have existing partnerships with major premier properties, with sports leagues, sports teams, theme parks, radio networks, and they're eager to leverage those other investments and partnerships they have with their airport partners and create some really cool customer experience, innovative, unique experiences that you wouldn't have without a pouring rights agreement.
You're right.
Very well said. You talked in the presentation a little bit about there were some folks on the team and in your tenant community that had some reservations. What were any fears you had, maybe as you explored a pouring rights agreement, and how did those fears play out as you throughout the process?
So yeah, we were a little uncertain going forward, especially we didn't know what the impact was going to be with respect to the four major retailers that we have operating at the airport, and there are four major retail companies that operate in the U.S., and we have all four at our airport. To lose them would be devastating to our retail program. You need multiple retailers to ensure competitive programs. So after having met with the four companies and being fairly confident that we could get through agreements with at least three of them, that just alleviated that fear. But the other one was really the response from passengers. So I consider myself a pretty normal guy, and when I go to a restaurant and I ask for a Coke and the waitress says, "How about Pepsi?" or I ask for Pepsi and they say, "How about Coke?" I don't even think twice about it. And I was hoping that the public would have that same, or our customers would have that same response. And so far, so good. There has been really no issue with that part of it. So.
Yeah, that's good to hear. So yeah, we talked about in the presentation, these days, the beverage companies have such big product portfolios, and their big growth categories are water, juice, tea, and the general public doesn't know, for instance, that Coke's water brand is Dasani, and Coke owns Smart Water. You know, Pepsi's water brand is Aquafina, and they own Life Water, and they have relationships with Voss and with these other premium waters as well. So yeah, I think that, you know, you're right. Consumers aren't experiencing this sort of backlash at all from going exclusive.
Agree.
Yeah. So Jim, I know you got to go. You got some work to do. Some other work here in London. You're trying to develop some air service for Philadelphia. You're always working. Any fun time coming up?
I do get to go to Ireland as part of my travels, and I'll get to see my daughter who's studying abroad. So that'll be fun.
Great. I'm glad you could. Thanks, Jim.
All right.
Appreciate it.